Hello and welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. Today we're going to create a Slimline card featuring this joyful sunflower stamp set. I love sunflowers, so I had to have this set, and it's just really pretty. There is a coordinating die for each of these. Everything shaded in that greenish blue color on the stamp has a coordinating die. So just about everything in this set, aside from the sentiments. So we need to start by creating our Slimline card base. I have a sheet of espresso cardstock. I'm trimming this down to 8.5 wide by 7, just like so. And then we're going to score it at 3.5 to create our card. Just using my paper trimmer and my scoring stylus here, and we'll just fold this in half. Now, our cardstock is double-sided, two-tone, so you can decide if you want the lighter shade or the darker shade. I'm going with the darker shade of espresso on the outside of the card. So line it up and just kind of train the paper slowly into place there like so. And then you can use your fingernail or your bone folder to get a nice crisp crease. You can make your Slimline cards a little bit different, but I really like this size. So I am trimming a piece of vanilla cardstock down just slightly smaller for the front of our card here. And now we're going to do some stamping with those fun sunflower images. So this first image, you can see it's kind of a curved sunflower and it's looking in a certain direction. I want that sunflower to so-called look into my card frame, just like in photography. You would put a person with room in front of them. It's the same thing with this sunflower. It's going to look better looking into the card. So I'm going to stamp it on the left-hand side. I'm flipping my Versamat over so we have that nice foam cushion. And then I'm just inking this up in my intense black ink. I want to use the intense black because I'm going to color this image in with my Spectrum Noir markers, and the intense black is alcohol marker friendly. So push down to make sure we get a nice image, and that looks beautiful. See what I mean? How it's looking into the card. It has room to go. And now we're going to take our second image here, ink this one up. And to ensure I have room for all three sunflowers, I'm going to kind of put this one up a little higher, and the stem will just kind of disappear off the bottom of the page there, or the side. Beautiful. Now for my third sunflower, I'm actually going to stamp this one on a piece of cardstock and then die cut it out. I'm using the actual carrier sheet to make sure it's lined up so that I know my die cut will work perfectly. And then we bring in our scrap of vanilla, ink this up, and we'll just stamp it right like so. So I usually like to color my image before I die cut it. I just think it's a little bit easier, but it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to flip my Versamat over so I have a nice firm surface to work on. And here are my Spectrum Noir markers. My colors are dull green, citrus blend, and the golden brown. I'm just starting with the leaves, and I'm using the darkest shade, and I'm just going where the natural shade marks are on the leaf. And then I'm going to go over it with the medium color, filling in the gaps. I really love adding the different tones because it just brings these images to life when you have the shading. And you don't have to be an expert colorer to make this look good. And that's what I love about these markers. They just make it easy and they take the guesswork out of it for you. Oftentimes on stamped images, the artist has incorporated the shadow lines for you. So you don't have to overthink it. Just, put your darker color along those lines that the artist has sketched in. For the sunflower petals themselves, I just kind of went around with the medium shade and then the light shade. And if you use a flick-like motion just from the center to follow those shade lines. And then of course we'll use this golden brown for the inside center of the sunflowers. And I love the way this looks. We're ready to die cut this out. So I'm going to use a little tape and die cut that off camera there. I've gone ahead and colored in the other images. And I almost forgot, we have a little bit more stamping. I want to incorporate this cute fence on the bottom of my card. So using black ink, and we're going to stamp this picket fence right, or I guess it's not a picket fence, it's a split rail fence, and stamp this right onto a piece of the espresso cardstock. And this time I'm using the lighter shade. So we'll stamp this image down, and I love this fence. It's so cute. I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of this on scrapbook pages and cards. And I'm going to go ahead and tape the coordinating die down, and then I'll run that through my die cutting machine. I'm just kind of cutting out the excess there. And now we have this adorable fence. I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner and adhere this front card panel down to our slimline card base that we created earlier. There's about 1/8 of an inch border around the edge of the vanilla cardstock there. And now I'm just going to use a little liquid glue. We're going to adhere this cute little fence down to the base of our card, just like so. It does overhang on the edges just a little bit, but we'll trim that off in a moment. I'm going to use some dimensional foam to pop up our center sunflower just to add a little interest. And I'm using my paper piercer. I found that's very helpful in removing the backing to the adhesive foam. So I'm making just a little hole so I can poke the base of this one under. And then the top part of the sunflower is going to pop up with that dimensional foam and just add a lot of fun interest to this card. So we have plenty of room to add a sentiment. I love this little shape here, this decorative background piece that's going to be the home for our sentiment. And I'm going to stamp this on a separate piece in canary ink. And then we'll go ahead. This also has a coordinating die. I just love all the coordinating dies. You can fussy cut these shapes if you don't have a die cutting machine. It's just your personal preference. So this canary ink matches our sunflowers very well. So I've gone ahead and stamped that shape. And now in black, I'm overlaying the sentiment, sending sunshine your way. We'll go ahead and get this die cut off camera here. I'm just using a little Post-it removable tape. I'm making these cards for my sister-in-laws, and I just thought it'd be fun. They all love sunflowers, and it's always nice to send a little sunshine someone's way. You'll see I'm using dimensional foam to pop this element up as well. I just love using dimensional foam. It just adds so much to your project. I use it in scrapbooking and most of my cards, and I really like it. So here you can see I'm using my micro tip scissors, and I'm just trimming off where the little fence is overhanging there. Just like so. Snip that off. Perfect. And now I want to put a piece of vanilla cardstock on the inside because our cardstock is brown. Now you could use like a white gel pen to write your sentiment, but I often like to use a lighter piece of cardstock on the inside. I just think it looks really nice. So you saw I stamped the sunflower in the bottom. I'm not going to color it in. I love the black and white look there. So we'll just put that like so. And we need one more finishing touch. This is Shimmer Trim. It's adhesive backed. I've gone ahead and cut a strip and then cut it in half. So you can see I've cut it horizontally there. So this color, this beautiful coppery color, is no longer available, but there is a gold that would work really well with this project also. So I'll leave a link down below so you can check out the different colors. But I love the sparkle and shine this adds, and it just gives it that unexpected little pop of little something to dress it up. I love how happy and cheerful sunflowers are. They just make me smile, and I know this card would bring anybody a little bit of sunshine. Here are a few more videos that I think you will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.